What's good? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. One time for the one time we grinding. Y'all know what the business is, man. Putting in work as usual. We're going to finish out the night strong. With at least one more video after this one, alright? And if Tyson Fury pulls out of the Anthony Joshua fight, does that make Tyson Fury more hated by Wilder supporter, Wilder, Team Wilder, Team Wilder, all his supporters, his fans, whatever you want to call yourself. If you're pro-American, pro-Wilder, whatever, you understand the category I'm talking about. Does that put him on top of the shit list above Anthony Joshua? And I know people going to continue to say, well, that's $50 million, Joshua turned down. Definitely understand the magnitude of that. But, Tyson Fury, he went the distance. We could talk about the 50 million, but he went around, saying, he'll fight Wilder. Joshua and Hearn were embarrassing the Brits, and he wanted to, take on this and take up for the Brits and not have Joshua and Hearn represent them against Deontay Wilder. All right. He said, I'll fight Wilder, send a contract. Apparently, the contract was sent. It's a 50-50 deal. He fights Pinata, all right? He fights Pinata. Then him and Wilder, face off. Before that, they went head-to-head, war awards with the dad and at the weigh-in. And after the Pinata fight, Wilder gave him the championship belt to walk around the ring. They apparently say the fight is a done deal. They shook hands. They did the whole nine, all right? They did the whole shebang. Total works. Everything on it. And all of a sudden, if he pulls out of this fight, to me, it's worse. I think Tyson Fury jumps on top of the shit list. And I know you could say, well, if Anthony Joshua took the fight, Fury would have never had to commit himself. But one, he was supposed to be taking up for Joshua, Andy Hearn, a little spat, and not wanting to fight Wilder. Two, they sold it. He committed to the fight verbally. And I'm not saying that he won't take the fight. We just saying, what if? This is a hypothetical, right? He sold the fight. They committed to it after his fight versus Pinata. And I think that's the ultimate. He makes Deontay Wilder like the ultimate fool. That's the ultimate nail in his coffin. The ultimate nail in his coffin. Because now, the backlash is going to be epic on Wilder. Well, you couldn't get Fury, and if you got to go ahead and fight Dominic Breazeale, then, it's exactly what Eddie Hearn predicted, right? He will fight Dominic Breazeale. That's who he's going to fight next. I think Fury personally, in my opinion, I think Fury climbs to the shit list. Because he was supposed to portray this guy that wasn't, a punk, that wasn't a pussy, that was going to step up for UK boxing and prove they wasn't scared of Deontay Wilder. He was going to put it on Wilder, beat Wilder, and he called Wilder a bum and whoop, 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 and all of that stuff. I think him pulling out this fight is worse than Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua only committed to the fight as far as saying he wanted $50 million. I understand they gave him $50 million. But Fury acted like it was a done deal, going around with Wilder belt, calling Wilder and Joshua bums, said he's going to take up for the UK because Joshua embarrassing them. And he comes out there and ultimately embarrasses himself in the whole country if he pulls out of this fight. In my opinion, that's worse. That's just my opinion. I know people say it's $50 million. Hey, $50 million is $50 million. I agree. But, your word as a man, it holds way more weight than $50 million. It holds way more weight than $50 million in pounds, in legit weight pounds. Your word as a man is your ultimate, your ultimate thing. I can't really articulate it right now. I'm not feeling well, but that's all you got. Is your word. And you out here duping the fans, having the fans believe it. And there's some fans, I understand that Fury should never took the fight anyway. They don't want to see Deontay Wilder prosper. They don't want to see Deontay Wilder rise. They don't want to see Deontay Wilder reach the top of the mountaintop. And you got the same hypocritical fans that be like, oh yeah, they hating on Wilder, woo, woo, woo. But you have the same fans that go ahead and say the same thing about Earl. Earl, he ain't fought nobody. He don't deserve this. He a bum. Anybody got to fight Earl. He got to have this many title defenses and he got to do this and that. But you can't. It's the same. The two are the same. You can't be a hypocrite. You can't take up one and not take up for the other. They both go through the same thing. They both being froze out by the top opposition in their division and on their side of the street or in their vicinity. It's the same exact thing. So you can't be, I understand, fuck Wilder and yeah, Earl, or Earl fuck Earl and be Wilder. I'm not saying that you have to root for neither one of them, but your stance has to be consistent across the board. Your stance shouldn't change like the weather changed for the seasons. If your stance is that about Deontay Wilder and somebody else like Earl has a similar situation, it should be across the board. No matter if you dislike one guy or love one guy, whatever, your stance should be 100. But like I said, it ain't too many 100 people out here. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with fandom and fanboys and all of that, there's no 100. There's no a buck. They not understanding. They gonna troll and be keyboard warriors. You know what I'm saying? And if Fury do pull out, like I said, man, I really fell out of favor with the guy when he got caught juicing. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua fell out of favor when he did all this perpetrating and lying and being conniving and duping the public. And you know the public, a lot of them dudes is weak-minded. Same simple-minded people that let people toss them around every day at work, let their girl dictate their life, you pay their guy, manage their money and get them allowance out of their check. Facts. Same dudes that's miserable that come into the internet as their outlet. But in my opinion, it's worse because he went back on his word as far as Tyson Fury. And now, if this is the case, and I say this is just a hypothetical, I don't know if he pulling out or not. And somebody told me that Deontay Wilder said it was false about, the pullout of Tyson Fury. But if he does pull out, it's worse than Anthony Joshua. He's a cheater and he's a liar. And if I'm Deontay Wilder, I want to get them dudes the day alike. You know what I'm saying? I go for 51-0, 50 knockouts, and I'll be at peace because at the end of the day, what they say 20, 30 years down the line, why they didn't fight, whatever the lie may be, they might try to put on Deontay Wilder, whatever it may be. If I'm Wilder, I'm at peace with it. If I'm laying in my grave and people say I ducked Joshua and Tyson Fury, in my mind, I know it's true and know it's false. And people that knew the situation, that was alive around the situation, knew that it was fact. That these two ducked them. And unless the deal is super, super lucrative for me, unless the deal is super, super right for Deontay Wilder, and me, then I ain't taking it. Let them two go over there and make the biggest British bum bash of all time. Because in my opinion, in my mind, they 2 or 3 at best. Or 3 and 4 at best because neither one of them want to fight Luis Ortiz. Neither one fight Deontay Wilder. So that's 3 or 4 best at best to me. But I wouldn't be, I'm not shocked. You got a performance enhancing steroid, peddler and that played the role and act like, cocaine was the issue and lied and stuff of that. It never ceased to amaze me. This dude is a nutcase, a head case. And when he cheated, he lost me in my opinion. Even going into this fight, he lost me. From a fan point of view, if I'm strictly being a fan, I hope Deontay Wilder knock his head off his shoulders. Facts. As far as Anthony Joshua, I don't dislike Anthony Joshua personally or nothing that he does personally. I just hate the fact that he did all that lying and perpetrating about Wilder and why the fight didn't happen. That's it. I supported him before this whole situation. So he didn't cheat. He didn't get caught cheating. He just, good. He seemed like a good guy. But Fury, if he does this, he's the ultimate shitty boo-boo guy, man. It's the Boxing Clinic of Moore. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you want to join the Boycott Group, the Boycott Shine and Danny and other fights, saving one fight at a time. And we're doing classic reviews in there as well, streaming classic fights. Go ahead and hit that Boycott link in the description to our Facebook group. And if you want to donate, PayPal link is there as well. One time for the one time. End of the business.